What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike, full-time media seller. 99.9% of my business is done on Amazon. This is going to be a shorter video. I got my 2 wisdom teeth pulled here on my left side, so I really can't talk for that long. I'm trying to, recover here over the next few days, but we're going to cover 10 of my top voted on community posts, right? On my YouTube community tab, I always put out stupid, crazy polls, and we're kind of just going to dive into them. I got 10 of them here. So without further ado, we're jumping right in. How much money would you recommend to start a reselling business? The options were 0, 100, 500, 1,000, or $5,000. 1,000 won the poll at 43%. 0 was only 8%, 100 was 23, 500 was 21, and 5,000 was 6. I do think we live in a time where if you're going to take reselling seriously starting out, it is good to have capital, right? That's going to make your life a lot easier. You're not worried about where the next dollar is going to go. But if you're kind of just dabbling in it, you're brand new, you never resold in your life, sell things around your house, you can start out for 0. For me, if I could vote, I would have voted $500. I think that's a good medium ground. And then again, it depends on what kind of business you want to get into, right? Are you doing thrifting? You're doing online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. There's so many different business models out there you can make money off of. So that was kind of a cool poll to see. Next up, we have, will you still be reselling this time next year? I posted this 7 months ago. 95% said yes way. So only 5% said no. Over 200 votes. So I would argue that more than 10 people that voted on this aren't reselling anymore. The climate has changed so much in reselling. Fees have gotten up, platforms have gotten harder, competition's gone up. So I think this poll was a lot of people lying like they're still going to be reselling. I think in actuality, it's probably closer to like 60-40, maybe 75-25. Like 75 still reselling, 25% not reselling. So yeah, a bunch of liars in that poll. Next up, the more eBay listings you have up, the more money you will make. Split down the middle, 50-50, true, false. So this is kind of one people seem to, kind of be firm about on both sides. For me, you could argue if you have 10,000 listings versus somebody with 1,000 listings, you're going to sell more because you have more hooks out there in the water. But that's not always the case, right? What if somebody runs a super lean, desirable item store of only 100 items and they're all super high selling price points? So even if they're only making 10% on, $1,000 sale, they're still making $100 versus the guy that has 10,000 listings and he's only making $1 or $2 per item. Then, it works both ways. So that's cool to see a 50-50 split on one of these polls. And I do think both sides, both business models work. The higher ASP, less item business model is just, it's easier, it's more desirable, and it's a lot less work at the end of the day. All right. You take your items up to checkout at the thrift store. Clerk rings the $19.99 DVD set for $1.99. Do you alert them to their mistake? 46% of you are very honest people and said yes. 54% said no. I will fall in the middle here, and I will say, if it's Goodwill or Salvation Army, I'm not saying nothing. I appreciate the discount. If it's a smaller mom and pop shop, then sure. I know if I'm buying it, right, even at $19.99, I still can make money. I just feel like the smaller mom and pop shops, they're not a racket. It's not a scam. I get tired of hearing the Goodwill and the Salvation Army saving the world. I mean, they ain't saving nothing around here. I don't see Goodwill building anything or what they're doing with this money, 98 cents of every dollar nonsense. So listen, Goodwill, you're beat. You ring it up wrong, then you ring it up wrong. So, I mean, I guess that's a loaded one as well. Acceptable handling time for eBay is 1 day, 2 days, 3 to 5 days, 6 to 7 days. 2-day wins at 49%. I agree with that. 6 to 7 days, you're just way out of line. 1 day, if you're full-time and you're in your business every day, sure, then you might as well just have 1 day handling on. 3 to 5 days, if you're busy with a full-time job. But for me, 2 days, right? That gives you the weekends off, and then you ship Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're not in your business every single day. You're not at your storage unit every single day. That's how I had mine set up when I was listing a lot of items on eBay and doing merchant fulfilled on Amazon. Does eBay go away with the boomer generation? 19% said yes, 81% said no. I think if I took this poll today, because this was 4 months ago, it would probably be a different answer because eBay's had so many big glaring issues lately. I think a lot of people are on the fence now that kind of eBay's on its downswing. I don't think it is. I just think you got to have the right business model that the platform wants you to have. And I think that's all it comes down to, whether, what platform you sell on. You can't sell everything on all the platforms. It just doesn't work. Different platforms are better for different items. And I think that's kind of what eBay's turned into. The collectible market is what they're trying to, turn themselves into, versus your everyday goods and your everyday value junk items. I think they're trying to get away from that, but they can't, come out and formally say that. Just a lot of issues with eBay lately, but I don't think they'll go anywhere. You got to change. You got to change with the times or you're not going to be around, right? You wind up like here, Kmart, Sears, Macy's, and you just go away. Next up, full-time reseller means full-time hours, full-time income, or both. Both won this at 46%. 20% said full-time hours. Full-time income, 33%. For me, full-time income is all that matters. I could care less if, you're making full-time income and you're working 10 hours a week, good for you. That's kind of where I want to be, right? I'm at 20 hours a week now making a full-time income. I think people get carried away with oh, you got to be working around the clock in this business. If I wanted to do that, I would just go back and get a job where I'm going to make, over $100K a year salary. It just doesn't make sense to just do this all the time and not reap the benefits. And a lot of people, unfortunately, that resell are in their businesses around the clock and don't make nowhere near the amount of money that they should. Furthest you drive to a thrift store is, we got over an hour, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Over an hour won, surprisingly, 36%. I try to tell people this, that want to start a reselling business based off of thrift stores. You have to be willing to drive far, miles, hours. Some days it sucks. I mean, you're driving an hour and a half one way. You have no idea what's in these thrift stores, right? You could drive an hour and a half, run your route, come back, and you got a bag full, It's brutal some days, and just understand, unless you live in a huge city, you're going to need to have, routes going every which way direction, well over an hour, one-way drive, car maintenance, car upkeep, gas prices. We're almost at $4 here in Pennsylvania for a gallon of gas. So, I mean, it's not as glamorous as the YouTube realm makes it out to be. All right. Outsource one aspect of your business. Listing, sourcing, shipping, customer service. 54% said listing. 20% said sourcing. 14% said shipping. 11% said customer service. For me, I would outsource sourcing. Like I said, that saves me the drive time. For me, listing on Amazon, that initial price I set it up on Amazon is crucial. So I'd rather have somebody just out there scanning, buying the stuff that, the software tells them to buy. I would still do some sourcing myself, but it would be nice to have somebody else help me source, I guess, versus having somebody else help me list. And I know a lot of this comes from eBay, because listing sucks on eBay. You got to take the photos, you got to do the drafts and everything like that. So the last one we have is choose. Thrift store, estate sale, garage sale, flea market, antique mall. Thrift store wins at 36%, estate sales close at 31%, garage sale 25%, flea market 5%, antique mall 3%. I think we got to get out of this mindset of just relying on thrift stores, and it kind of irritates me that it won this, but it's literally go upstream. Think past the thrift stores, right? Even the estate sale and the garage sale is further upstream than the thrift store. People try to sell it themselves first before they take it to the thrift store. Relying solely on thrift stores is a dangerous business. No matter how many you have, you're at the will of their pricing, the quality of stuff they have. Are they listing it online? Are they scanning it before they put items out? Are they cherry picking for themselves? There's so much that goes into this. So there goes my 10 kind of questions community posts. I'm going to try to get in a better habit of doing these more often. I do think they're insightful to the reselling community overall. And yeah, the benefit of being self-employed, right? I can take some time off when I got to get 2 of my wisdom teeth yanked out. But the other side to that is, right, when it comes to insurance, being self-employed, right, it's not cheap. And dental insurance is like, I don't know what it is, but it's like nowhere really offers dental insurance. And if it is, you got to pay an exuberant amount of money. So my question to you is, how much do you think it costs to get my 2 wisdom teeth removed? I paid out of pocket, right? So I just paying with my debit card. I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. Maybe comment down below. 2 wisdom teeth extracted. I wasn't, it was local anesthesia. I wasn't knocked out. So that they just stick the needle that's like the size of this into your gum and they numb you up. All right. It cost me $1,100 out of pocket to get my 2 teeth removed. And that comes with, having a profitable self-employment business. You should have money set aside for different things, right? Health, savings, retirement. My case, down payment for a house. It's possible being self-employed and living a comfortable financial life, but you have to understand, there's a lot that kind of comes with it. So yeah, that's going to do it for the video. I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more No Wisdom Teeth Use Book Guide videos. Bye-bye.